Hey guys, welcome back to my podcast. This is the PHB Academy podcast, and I am your host, Alan Biba. We are here today to talk about a few things that entrepreneurs face. As you know, we are a female based podcast. We cater to the female entrepreneur. And I probably shouldn't say right? But yeah, the conversation about the 9 to 5. I know entrepreneurship has been on the rise ever since the pandemic. It kind of has like escalated and it's become something more serious. A lot of people are getting into it now. And the pandemic really woke a lot of people up. It woke a lot of people up in the sense that now you realize that your 9 to 5 isn't exactly everything your parents told you it was, you know? So a lot of people are deviating from a traditional 9 to 5. And for me, I'm kind of torn because the conversation about whether you should quit your 9 to 5 definitely heightened, like I said. However, that came with its own set of complications. You know, um, a lot of people did not anticipate the complications that it came with. I want to share with you reasons why I have found a 9 to 5 to be useful while running a business. And I'm going to give a bit of my background. So last year, I started traveling as a travel healthcare worker. And I realized that, yes, I did have a business. And yes, I had a passion for what I do. I retail cosmetics and I cater to beauty influencers, women in beauty, and women who want to commit to self care. So, in as much as that's my passion, that's great. But I realized that it was very important to fund my business because you can have a dream, you know? You can have a dream all day. You can talk about what you do all day to people, but you still have bills to pay at the end of the day. Like, that's not going anywhere. Georgia Power is still going to be Georgia Power. T-Mobile is still going to want that check at the end of the month. So, what are you doing to keep the lights on in your home? What are you doing to keep the phone connected? What are you doing to keep running every day? We're in a very capitalist society. Let's not lie. Like, there's no denying that at the end of the day. So, having a 9 to 5 for me um, prepares you for real business in a sense. What do I mean by that? Having a 9 to 5 prepares you for real business. Have you ever heard of the saying that in order to be a good boss, you have to be a good worker in the first place? For me, being a good worker teaches you empathy. Like, it makes you empathetic to people on all levels because you started from the ground up or because you're working a certain role in a company. That kind of gives you an idea of what people are experiencing. So you can be more empathetic towards your workers and you can relate with them on a different level. True, yes. That's just a given. Because unless you're just a jerk, unless you're just a jerk, um, it's very you become relatable. You become understanding. You become a people's person because now they feel more comfortable. This guy knows exactly what I'm talking about when I see this. I feel comfortable sharing this with this guy or this woman or whatever. In our case, women. You're more empathetic. People are more empathetic towards you and everything. So having a 9 to 5 really does prepare you for a business because you're going to have to deal with workers at the end of the day. And you know their roles, you know what you experience as a worker. So you know what you don't want to accept from your boss or things like that. It also makes you a good leader and it makes you trustworthy as well. Working a 9 to 5 teaches you discipline. Trust me, waking up every morning to go to a job, first of all, you wake up in the morning, you shower, you get dressed, you get in your car, you drive down to your job. You sit there for 8 hours and then you clock out. Whatever you do afterwards, that's up to you. But that routine, having that constant routine, really does prepare you for it disciplines you. It makes you more ready to run a business. It makes you ready to be an entrepreneur in a sense, because trust me, you think this entrepreneur life is easy. It is discipline. Most of the time, you do not want to wake up. You do not want to have to fulfill these orders or respond back to customers or respond back to your vendor because you're tired. You're tired. You don't want to get up and do these things, these tasks that your business is relying on. But because you know that regardless of whether you're tired or not, they still have to get done. Just like a 9 to 5. Whether you want to or not, you still got to get up and go to work unless you don't want to work the job anymore. So having a 9 to 5 teaches you discipline. Discipline in which you can carry on over into your business. Okay. Now, my third point. A 9 to 5 has benefits. We live in a capitalist society. I said that before. And the type of society we live in, benefits are super important, especially healthcare benefits. Healthcare benefits are, it's like treasure down here for some reason. I don't know why. Because at the end of the day, we have to live, and sometimes emergencies happen. People need to go to the hospital. I just feel like that should be easily accessible, but that's a conversation for another day. It's not easily accessible. So working a 9 to 5 sometimes gives you certain health benefits, health coverage that you could utilize for you, not just you, but for your family as well. That could be something that you could benefit from in the long run. There are 401ks, there are Roth IRAs that you could invest your money in. Sometimes certain companies match you. You know, if you're putting in $20, let's say, for instance, you're putting in $20, they're matching you 20. Or sometimes they even give you more depending on your role in the company. There are so many benefits that could come in handy. That gives you peace of mind. It gives you peace of mind for your for running your business. Because let's say, for instance, you know, you're fulfilling orders and you're doing what you're supposed to be as an entrepreneur, right? And one day, God forbid, something happens to you. And because you're just an entrepreneur and you have no health coverage, no insurance, how do you get covered? How do you get taken care of? Now your business is suffering because you're out a couple of days and you're not attending to that because probably if you're at the beginning stage of your business, you can't afford to have an assistant to fill in for you or to figure things out like that. But what you have to do is that your business will have to suffer for like a few months till you get back on your feet. But if you had the insurance from your 9 to 5, let's say, that gives you peace of mind. You know that, okay, at the end of the day, my premium is a certain amount. My deductible is a certain amount. So that gives you like a cushion, kind of like a fallback for you, and makes you just more comfortable in life. At the end of the day, we want to be comfortable in whatever we're doing. It also provides job security. What do I mean by job security? Now, if you've been an entrepreneur for a while, you know that, especially when you're starting out, like there's no certain amount unless you're just this magical creature like a unicorn that you just started last month and you started making $100,000 every single month up until where you're at currently. That's rare. People don't make that initially. And I know I've seen a lot of seminars and a lot of motivational speakers saying, if you don't, if you don't make a certain amount of money, you need to have high ticket items. You need to have this, you need to have that, you need to have the other. Well, realistically, it takes people a while to get there. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I say all that to say, initially, if you're starting up, money isn't probably coming in consistently. So there are some months where you do really, really, really well. And there's some months where you be like, nothing substantial is coming in. That yo-yo, that up and down, that roller coaster is not good for anxiety. And a lot of entrepreneurs tend to have anxiety from they're not sure what this month will bring. But if you had that 9 to 5, right? You know that, okay, I'm running my business on the side. And I'm going to my 9 to 5 as well. I know that my 40 hours will give me a certain amount of money every 2 weeks. Because people get paid 2 weeks currently, right? People get paid every 2 weeks, right? So I know that every 2 weeks, money is coming in. It's coming in. I can get, Georgia Power is getting their check. T-Mobile is getting their check. Like, I have nothing to worry about. They're not cutting the lights. They are not taking my phone away, things like that. So you're more at peace with running your business. Now, whenever you're making a decision for your business, you're not doing it out of desperation. You're doing it out of like, oh, you're comfortable. Like, you have a cushion, you have a fallback, you have something to keep you safe. And let's say, God forbid, you have a family. So now you're not just thinking for yourself, you're thinking for your family. I do not like when I see a lot of like entrepreneurs or motivational speakers out there talking about. Did you hear that? Oh, never mind. I do not like when I see a lot of motivational speakers talking about, you need to hurry up and quit your job and just do it and just go into it. A lot of people are not ready for that. If we're being 100% honest, a lot of people are not ready to quit their jobs. A lot of people are not ready to make that transition. And I feel that, I think that, not that I feel, let me correct myself on that. I think that rushing into something you are not prepared for will leave you more damage in the long run. So go ahead and run your business on the side until you're making enough money to replace your income at least 6 months consecutively. So you know that, okay, consistently, month in, month out, this is what's coming in. This is what's coming in. This is my takeaway after I've paid my fees, after I've done what I need to do. Now I can go ahead and quit my 9 to 5. No rush. I don't understand what the rush is. A lot of people are in a hurry to be this entrepreneur. It's no joke. At least your 8 hours is your 8 hours. Being an entrepreneur is 24 hours. It's 24 hours because there's always a problem. There's always something to fix. There's always something that needs your attention. And you're doing it by yourself. Sometimes you're fulfilling the order, you're making the products, you're shipping them, you're the designer, you're the marketer. Like, you're doing everything, and it's too much. So a lot of people need to think when it comes to quitting their 9 to 5 and going into entrepreneurship full time. Me personally, I'm not at the point where I'm ready to quit my 9 to 5. I'm going to work at least a few more years until I can totally replace my 9 to 5 income and I'm comfortable. And then I know that, yes, now I'm ready to be an entrepreneur full-fledged and give this my all. But till then, on the side. And like I said earlier, like, having a 9 to 5 teaches you discipline. So I'm able to discipline myself to know that, okay, after work, I need to do this amount, allocate this amount of time for my business so my business can still function. Don't be in a hurry to quit your 9 to 5. I don't know who needs to hear this, but don't listen to those motivational speakers out there. They will lead you astray. I'm telling you now. All right. Thank you so much for tuning into this podcast. This particular episode is near and dear to my heart. A lot of people have been talking to me about quitting their 9 to 5 and just going for it. And I asked them certain questions and they're not ready, especially a lot of women, because the dissatisfaction with their jobs is getting to them. And I'm here to tell you that just stick in there a little bit longer and you will get the reward. Honestly, just you have to plan. You have to plan. 9 to 5 is not terrible. If you're working the right job, it is not terrible. Trust me. All right, guys, please make sure you tune into us on Spotify, Google Podcast, Breaker, Podvine. We are on all those platforms. And I love you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.